Have you ever wondered if there's a better way to live than moving into a nursing home? For many, between 60 and 85, just hearing those words brings a wave of anxiety. It's not the buildings or the beds, it's the quiet loss of freedom, when to eat, where to sit, even the comfort of your favorite chair. But here's the truth. Nursing homes are no longer the only path. Today, more and more seniors are choosing new ways to live, options that offer safety without stripping away independence, dignity, or joy. Hi, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we'll explore practical, real alternatives that are reshaping how older adults age. Choices that prove your later years don't have to feel like surrendering control. They can be the years you finally live fully on your own terms. So stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover may change the way you think about your future forever. If you find this conversation meaningful, don't just let it pass you by. Save this video, share it with someone who might be facing the same worries, and subscribe so you never miss these honest talks about aging with dignity. Here, we don't dress things up. We look at the realities and the solutions that truly matter. Now, let's start with the very first alternative to nursing homes. It's the one many people overlook, yet it allows you to hold on to your independence longer than you might think. Number 1. Aging in place with supportive services. One of the most powerful alternatives to a nursing home is something simple yet often underestimated: staying in your own home but with the right support systems in place. It's called aging in place, and for many seniors, it offers the independence they crave without sacrificing safety or care. It doesn't happen by accident. Aging in place requires planning. Sometimes it's installing grab bars in the bathroom. Other times, it's arranging for meal deliveries, part-time caregivers, or even just a neighbor who checks in once a day. Small adjustments add up to a life where you still wake up in your own bed, pour coffee in your own kitchen, and look out the same window you've looked through for years. Research from the AARP shows that nearly 80% of older adults want to remain in their homes as long as possible. Why? Because the familiar surroundings carry memories, comfort, and a sense of control. In fact, psychologists note that staying in a known environment often reduces anxiety and supports better mental health compared to the stress of uprooting into an institution. Of course, there are challenges. Loneliness, fall risks, and declining mobility are real concerns. But here's the truth. Technology and community resources are making aging in place more possible than ever. From wearable devices that can alert emergency services if you fall, to local senior centers that offer transport and companionship, independence is no longer about doing everything alone. It's about choosing the right mix of support. So what can you do if you're considering this path? Start by honestly assessing your living space. Could a simple renovation make it safer? Could hiring a part-time helper ease the burden without taking away your freedom? And perhaps most importantly, talk openly with your family. Sometimes children assume a nursing home is the only safe choice, but showing them a clear plan for aging in place can change their minds. Remember, independence doesn't mean isolation. It means living on your terms, with enough support to keep both dignity and safety intact. That's why aging in place remains the first and most empowering alternative to nursing homes. And if staying home with support is one alternative, the second alternative takes things in a different direction. Still independent, but surrounded by a whole new kind of community. Number 2. Senior co-housing communities. Not every senior wants to live alone, and not everyone wants the rigid environment of a nursing home. Somewhere in the middle lies a growing movement: senior co-housing. Imagine this: not a facility, but a neighborhood designed around older adults who share common spaces while still having their own private homes or apartments. The beauty of co-housing is that it shifts the story from isolation to belonging. Instead of silent hallways and set meal times, you find shared gardens, communal kitchens, and neighbors who actually look out for one another. It's not about losing independence. It's about gaining a circle of support that feels natural, not forced. Of course, it isn't perfect. Living close to others means adjusting, sharing resources, making group decisions, and respecting different personalities. But here's the trade-off. Those small compromises often buy you the one thing money can't: companionship. When you know there's someone to walk with after dinner, or to check in if you're unwell, independence suddenly feels less fragile. My neighbor, Mr. Harold Thompson, was a widower in his 70s who spent years alone after his children moved away. The silence in his home became heavy. He told me the TV was always on, yet the rooms still felt empty. Loneliness crept in slowly, even though he was still in good health. 2 years ago, Harold moved into a small senior co-housing community. He kept his own apartment and privacy, but now shared a garden and kitchen with 9 other seniors. Today, his evenings are filled with shared meals, daily walks in the garden, and friendships that brought back the feeling of family he thought he'd lost forever. For anyone considering co-housing, the first step isn't to pack your bags. It's to explore, visit communities, talk to residents, and ask yourself what balance of privacy and community you truly want. Some seniors thrive in bustling shared spaces. Others prefer smaller, quieter groups. Do yourself a little favor. Tap Save and keep this close for the day you really need it. Co-housing shows us that independence doesn't have to mean isolation. Community can keep loneliness at bay. But let's be honest, not everyone wants to share walls, meals, or decisions with a group. Some of us crave the comfort of our own space, yet still need the kind of professional support nursing homes provide. That's where the third alternative comes in, bringing the care of a facility directly into your home. Number 3. In-home care services. Some people don't want to leave their homes. Yet living alone with health challenges can feel overwhelming. That's where in-home care services step in. A solution that brings the help of a nursing facility right to your doorstep, without forcing you to leave the comfort of your own space. Unlike co-housing or retirement villages, this option is deeply personal. A trained caregiver, sometimes for just a few hours a week, sometimes full-time, can help with daily needs, like cooking, bathing, or medication reminders. The difference is control. You decide who comes into your home, when they come, and how much support you actually need. Of course, there are challenges. Hiring help can be expensive, and trusting someone new in your home requires time and careful screening. But many communities now offer subsidized programs, volunteer companions, or caregiver networks that lower the cost and increase peace of mind. And with modern technology, video check-ins, fall detection devices, even digital pill reminders, home care has become more reliable than ever. My dad chose in-home care when his health began to decline. He didn't want the sterility of a nursing home, and he didn't want to lose the daily routines he loved. Having a caregiver come in a few hours each day gave him the balance he needed. Support for the hard tasks, but freedom to live the rest of his life on his own terms. The result was remarkable. His stress eased almost overnight. No more worrying about being a burden on family, and no more fear of losing control. With someone there to help him dress, cook, and manage medications, he had the energy to enjoy the parts of life that mattered, tending his small garden, visiting neighbors, and simply relaxing in his favorite chair. Instead of shrinking into dependency, he regained confidence. That's the real gift of in-home care. It doesn't just add years to life, it adds life to those years. That's the essence of in-home care. Keeping independence intact while quietly filling in the gaps where we need it most. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you had the choice, would you prefer staying at home with caregiver support, or do you think another option would suit you better? Share your answer in the comments, because your experience might inspire someone else. And while in-home care focuses on bringing services to you, the final alternative takes a different approach, building a lifestyle around independence within a supportive retirement community. Number 4. Continuing care retirement communities. For some seniors, the biggest fear isn't today's independence, it's what happens when health declines tomorrow. That's where continuing care retirement communities, or CCRCs, offer a unique answer. Unlike nursing homes that focus only on advanced care, CCRCs provide a spectrum. You might start in an independent apartment, move to assisted living if needed, and eventually receive skilled nursing care, all within the same community. From my own research into senior living options, I found numbers that really stood out. A survey by the National Investment Center for Seniors Housing and Care reported that nearly 84% of residents in continuing care communities said they felt more secure about their future health needs, compared to only 55% of seniors living independently without a care plan. Even more striking, about 70% reported stronger social connections after moving into a CCRC, noting that they saw friends daily instead of only a few times a month. To me, those figures confirm what I've been learning all along. These communities don't just provide care, they create peace of mind and belonging. The strength of this model is continuity. You don't have to uproot your life every time your health changes. You keep familiar surroundings, friends, and routines, while having the assurance that higher levels of care are available if and when you need them. It's independence now, with the safety net built in for later. Of course, CCRCs can be expensive and often require planning years in advance. Contracts vary, and some people worry about losing flexibility. But many families find peace of mind in knowing their loved one won't face a series of disruptive moves as conditions change. For many, this final option represents the balance between independence and preparedness. It acknowledges that we want to live freely today, but also with dignity tomorrow. And when you put all 5 alternatives side by side, a new truth emerges. Nursing homes are not the only destiny. Aging can be shaped by choice, not just circumstance. We've explored 5 different alternatives, each with its own value. Now, let's step back and pull them together. This is the moment to see the bigger picture. We've now walked through 5 real alternatives to nursing homes: aging in place with support, senior co-housing, in-home care services, retirement villages, and continuing care communities. Each of them offers a different balance of freedom, safety, and belonging. But here's another truth we often forget. Independence and dignity aren't gifts that someone hands us. They're choices we make daily. It's in the way we decide to adapt, to seek help without shame, to stay curious about life instead of retreating from it. Aging is not the end of the story. It's a new chapter, one where resilience and wisdom finally take the lead. And when we choose to live with courage and openness, we show the world that our later years can shine just as brightly as any that came before. So now I'd love to hear from you. If you had to choose, which of these alternatives feels right for your future? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience might inspire someone else. And if today's video gave you clarity, don't forget to like, save, and subscribe, so together we can keep building a community of wisdom, strength, and hope here on Journey After 60. Thanks for watching, and see you in next video.